Sharpening is not worsening the problem. Sharpening only helps where you have true detail. So in here, I can see true detail in this area where we have some bricks showing through a temple. I have some true detail in here, but then I have other areas where I see no really usable detail. It's mainly noise. I can't see branches and things. I can see the tiniest hint maybe there, but otherwise it looks like mainly noise. Right up here where it looks like a flat tone, there's no real usable detail. So here's a trick with sharpening. There's a slider called masking. And with that, I can hold down the Option key, Alt and Windows, and click on it. When I do, my screen should turn white. It's showing me where the image is going to be sharpened, and the image will be sharpened wherever this looks white. So when the slider's all the way down, it's sharpening everything. And then I'm going to slowly bring this up, higher and higher. Any area that turns black is not going to be sharpened. If you see a shade of gray, it'll be partially sharpened, that kind of thing. So what I want to do is look at the image and look for where there's no usable detail, like right out here, maybe right in there. And I want to bring this up until it's only white where there's usable detail. Maybe around there, because then if you just remember where some of that detail was shown in this, it's where there's the detail in the picture. And then where it's black, it won't be applied. So that means in here, it'll keep that nice and smooth, because if you end up sharpening all those areas, you're going to exaggerate the noise. Now, I might readjust that after we end up getting rid of the noise. I just don't want it to be just contributing to the problem by exaggerating the noise. So now let's get on to noise reduction. There's two kinds. There's luminance and color. Luminance will look like different specks of different colors. Specks of different brightnesses, whereas color is going to look like almost Christmas tree lights, where they're different colors. So with this, I'll bring up my luminance and see if I can get it to reduce the noise that's here. But when I'm doing this, there are two other sliders that are in here, and they're going to affect how it gets into my end result. Let's take a look at it. Detail. If I turn detail all the way down, then it's not concerned with retaining detail, and it will allow me to do noise reduction everywhere in the image. So if I brought that detail all the way down, then it's easier for me to figure out what noise reduction setting would actually get rid of that noise. And I don't know how much you can see this on the video because of the compression. But I'm trying to find the lowest setting that gets rid of the distracting part of the noise. Then, after having detail turned all the way down so that this could completely work on the image at full strength, now I'm going to do the opposite. I'll take detail and max it out. Now it's trying to preserve as much detail within the image as it possibly could, but the problem is it might think some of the noise is detail, so it brings some of the noise back along with it. And now I want to experiment with that and just slowly bring it down, and what I'm trying to find is what is the highest setting that still gets rid of the noise, or at least gets rid of the distracting part of the noise. And it's hard for me to do this with the screen as far away from my head as it is, because I can't tell right now. Make it a little bit down from all the way up. If this screen would be, 6 inches from my head, I'd be looking close and seeing how it's going. So anyway, I start with detail all the way down so that the luminance slider can work at full strength. It can affect the image without anything else restricting it. Then afterwards, I crank detail and I try to find the highest setting that still gets rid of the noise. Then finally, if I need to get some more, some of the contrast back, then I can come up here and bring up contrast. And this is another thing that might be hard to see, but it can give you a little more contrast in the subtle changes in your image. You just got to make sure that bringing it up doesn't also bring back chunks of noise. It's usually a relatively subtle change. Depends on how much texture was in here. The more texture, the more you'd see it. Let's go down to color for a second. There's a default setting for color, and it's not 0. It always tries to reduce color noise. If I bring the color noise all the way down, usually in a lot of images, you'll see what I call Christmas tree lights. multicolored speck.